I use Stoicism to build an unstoppable character. Here's how life is unpredictable. Challenges arise, setbacks occur, and emotions often take over. Most people struggle to maintain composure in difficult situations, reacting emotionally and letting circumstances dictate their well-being. But what if you could face adversity with a calm, unshakable mindset? That's what Stoicism taught me. For years, I struggled with anxiety, self-doubt, and frustration. I worried about things beyond my control, let failures define me, and allowed emotions to cloud my judgment. Then I discovered Stoicism, a philosophy that transformed my approach to life. It helped me build an unstoppable character, one that remains rational under pressure, disciplined in action, and focused on what truly matters. Here's how I applied Stoicism to cultivate resilience, mental strength, and emotional mastery. 1. Mastering the dichotomy of control. One of the most powerful Stoic principles is the dichotomy of control, taught by the philosopher Epictetus. He said, where some things are up to us and some things are not. Most people waste energy worrying about things beyond their control, what others think, the economy, politics, or past mistakes. But Stoicism teaches that we should only focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our actions, our attitude, our reactions. When I applied this mindset, my stress levels dropped significantly. Instead of ruminating on external circumstances, I redirected my energy toward what I could change: my behavior, mindset, and decisions. How you can apply this? Whenever you feel anxious, ask, is this within my control? If not, let it go. Focus on solutions instead of complaining about problems. Keep a daily journal, separating worries into control versus not control lists. Example: instead of stressing over an upcoming job interview, I prepared thoroughly and accepted that the outcome wasn't entirely in my hands. When facing a breakup, I focused on improving myself rather than dwelling on someone else's choices. 2. Practicing negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. Fear of the unknown holds people back, but Stoicism offers a powerful practice called negative visualization, imagining worst-case scenarios in advance. Seneca, the Roman Stoic, wrote, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." Instead of fearing failure, rejection, or loss, I began to mentally rehearse these situations. This didn't make me pessimistic. It made me prepared. When setbacks occurred, I was already emotionally equipped to handle them. How you can apply this: spend a few minutes each morning visualizing possible setbacks. Ask, if this happened, how would I handle it? Develop contingency plans for potential obstacles. Example: before giving a big presentation, I imagined everything that could go wrong: technical issues, forgetting my speech, or tough audience questions. Instead of panicking, I prepared for each scenario. By picturing financial struggles in advance, I created a safety fund and minimized unnecessary expenses. 3. Embracing discomfort to build mental toughness. Modern life offers endless comfort: warm beds, convenient food, and instant gratification. But comfort breeds weakness. Stoicism teaches voluntary discomfort, choosing to endure hardship to develop resilience. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic Roman emperor, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." To strengthen my willpower, I began incorporating small discomforts into my routine: cold showers to build discipline, fasting to overcome cravings, intense workouts to push my limits, digital detoxes to control distractions. Over time, I became mentally stronger and more adaptable. How you can apply this: skip a meal to test your self-control, sleep on the floor for a night to detach from luxury, take a cold shower to train your body to handle discomfort, reduce screen time to build focus. Example: when traveling, I learned to adapt to discomfort. Delayed flights, long waits, and limited amenities no longer stressed me. By embracing hunger during fasting, I realized I had control over cravings instead of letting them control me. 4. Developing an unshakable inner compass. Most people seek validation from others, but Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from living by your own values, not external opinions. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Instead of craving approval, I defined my core principles: honesty, discipline, resilience, and stuck to them. This freed me from the need for validation. How you can apply this: define your core values and live by them, no matter what. Stop seeking external approval. Focus on doing what's right. Keep a daily journal reflecting on your actions and decisions. 5. Responding to life with logic, not emotion. What it is, emotions are natural, but Stoics train themselves to pause and respond logically rather than react emotionally. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." How I applied it. When someone insulted me, I didn't react. Instead, I paused, analyzed, and responded calmly. When faced with bad news, I reminded myself, I cannot control this, but I can control my response. How you can apply it. When feeling upset, breathe before reacting. Ask, what's the most logical way to respond? Keep a journal tracking emotional reactions and learn from them. Conclusion: become unstoppable with Stoicism. By practicing these Stoic principles, I built an unshakable character, one that remains calm, focused, and resilient. I stopped worrying about things I can't control. I prepared for adversity instead of fearing it. I embraced discomfort to strengthen my mind. I stopped seeking validation from others. I responded to challenges with logic, not emotion. If you want to build true mental strength, start practicing Stoicism today. Are you ready to become unstoppable? Strong. Strengthening the mind the Stoic way. Introduction: the battle begins in the mind. After understanding the core principles of Stoicism, the next step is strengthening your mind, the ultimate tool in becoming an unstoppable force. Most people think strength is about physical power, but true resilience begins in the mind. A weak mind crumbles under pressure, while a strong mind remains steady in the face of adversity. As Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So how do we train our minds to be unbreakable? How do we develop calmness under pressure, emotional discipline, and relentless focus? This chapter will take you through the mental training techniques that Stoics have used for centuries. 1. Mastering emotional discipline, controlling the inner storm. The problem: emotions control. Most people are slaves to their emotions. Anger clouds judgment, fear prevents action, sadness drains motivation, excitement leads to impulsive decisions. But Stoicism teaches that we are not our emotions. We can observe them and control how we respond. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." The solution: the pause and reflect method. Before reacting emotionally, pause for 5 seconds and ask yourself, is this emotion helping me or hurting me? What would a wise person do in this situation? Is this reaction based on logic or impulse? By practicing this daily, I stopped reacting in anger when criticized, feeling anxious about things beyond my control, making rash decisions based on excitement. How you can apply this. Before reacting emotionally, take a deep breath and pause. Journal your emotional triggers and reflect on how you could handle them better. Use Stoic mantras like, "I control my response," when facing difficult situations. 2. Building a bulletproof mindset through voluntary hardship. The problem: comfort weakens us. Modern life makes us soft. We avoid discomfort. We seek instant gratification. We become mentally fragile in the face of minor difficulties. But Stoicism teaches that strength is built through hardship. To be mentally tough, we must train ourselves to endure discomfort voluntarily. The solution: the hardship training method. One of the most effective Stoic exercises is voluntary hardship, choosing to endure difficulty before life forces it upon you. As Epictetus said, "Difficulties show a man what he truly is." How I applied it: to strengthen my willpower, I started taking cold showers to build resilience, fasting for 24 hours to practice self-discipline, going without a phone for a day to fight distractions. At first it was uncomfortable, but over time I became mentally unshakable. How you can apply this? Go a day without eating your favorite food to practice self-control. Sleep on the floor for a night to train adaptability. Take a cold shower to build mental toughness. Do something challenging every day. Run an extra mile, work without music, or wake up earlier. 3. Conquering fear through negative visualization. The problem: fear paralyzes action. Most people let fear control their decisions. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of the unknown. But fear is just an illusion. It exists only in the mind. The solution: the worst-case scenario. Exercise: Stoics use negative visualization, premeditatio malorum, to mentally prepare for the worst so that fear loses its power. How I applied it. Before a big challenge, I ask myself, what's the worst that could happen? If it happens, how would I handle it? Would I still be okay? Example: before a public speech, I imagined forgetting my words, being laughed at, and failing miserably. Then I planned how I'd handle it. Before making a risky decision, I imagined the worst outcome, prepared for it, and moved forward confidently. How you can apply this: every morning, visualize one major fear and plan how you'd handle it. When feeling anxious, ask, what's the absolute worst that can happen? Remind yourself, even if the worst happens, I will survive. 4. Strengthening focus, mastering the power of attention. The problem: the modern world destroys focus. Most people are constantly distracted, scrolling social media, checking emails every 5 minutes, multitasking without deep work. But Marcus Aurelius warned against distractions. You could be good today, but instead, you choose tomorrow. The solution: the focus training method. I train my mind to concentrate deeply on important tasks by single tasking, working on one thing at a time, practicing deep work, focusing intensely for long periods. How I applied it. I stopped mindless scrolling and regained control over my time. I worked in focused blocks of 90 minutes, followed by short breaks. I replaced social media with reading philosophy and journaling. How you can apply this. Turn off notifications and set time blocks for focused work. Do one task at a time. No multitasking. Spend at least 30 minutes a day in deep, uninterrupted work. 5. Adopting the Stoic warrior mindset. Obstacles are fuel. The problem: people see obstacles as problems. Most people complain when things go wrong. Why did this happen to me? This is unfair. I give up. But Stoics see obstacles as training opportunities. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The solution: turning challenges into growth. Instead of complaining, I now ask, how can this challenge make me stronger? What lesson can I learn from this? How can I use this setback as fuel for growth? How you can apply this. Whenever you face a problem, reframe it. This is an opportunity to grow. Journal your biggest challenges and write down one lesson from each. Stop complaining, start adapting. Conclusion: the mind is the key to an unstoppable character. By strengthening your mind using Stoic principles, you will become truly unstoppable. Control your emotions, respond with logic, not impulse. Train involuntary discomfort. Embrace hardship before life forces it upon you. Conquer fear. Visualize and prepare for the worst. Strengthen your focus, eliminate distractions, and master deep work. Turn obstacles into growth. Reframe every problem as an opportunity. The world is full of challenges, pain, and uncertainty, but with a Stoic mind, you will thrive in any situation. Are you ready to strengthen your mind and become truly unbreakable? The Stoic Code of Discipline, Mastering Action. Introduction. Why discipline is the foundation of strength. You can have the strongest mindset in the world, but if you don't take action, it's useless. Most people understand what they need to do, but they lack the discipline to do it. They know they should wake up early, but they hit snooze. They know they should work out, but they skip the gym. They know they should focus on their goals, but they waste time on distractions. Discipline is the bridge between knowing and doing. It's what separates the weak from the strong, the average from the unstoppable. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." In this chapter, I'll show you how to build unshakable self-discipline using Stoic principles so that you can take massive action toward your goals. No excuses. The power of daily routines. Structure creates freedom. The problem, most people rely on motivation, which fails them. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel inspired, other days you don't. Willpower is limited. It runs out if you rely on it too much. Without a system, most people fall into procrastination and inconsistency. The Stoic solution. Build a powerful routine. Stoics understood that discipline comes from structure, not willpower. That's why they followed strict daily routines. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, started every morning by reminding himself of his duty to act. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, "I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for?" How I applied it. To eliminate inconsistency, I built a Stoic-inspired daily routine. Wake up at 5:30 a.m. No excuses, no snooze. Read philosophy for 15 minutes to set my mindset for the day. Work out first thing in the morning to train discipline. Plan my most important tasks so I don't waste time. Reflect and journal at night to track my progress. The result? Massive productivity, clarity, and focus. How you can apply this. Create a fixed morning routine so you start every day strong. Set a non-negotiable work schedule. Discipline comes from consistency. End each day with a reflection practice to evaluate your progress. 2. Training the will. The discipline of doing hard things. The problem: people avoid hard work. Most people take the easy path, choosing comfort over challenge. They seek quick results without putting in the effort. When things get hard, they quit. The Stoic solution: train your willpower like a muscle. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." How I applied it. I started doing one hard thing every day, not because I wanted to, but because it trained my willpower. Waking up early, even when I wanted to sleep in. Pushing through tough workouts, even when tired. Working on important projects instead of distractions. Practicing patience instead of reacting emotionally. Each time I did something difficult, my discipline increased. How you can apply this. Do one thing every day that challenges your willpower. When you feel resistance, push through instead of quitting. Remind yourself, this struggle is training me for greater challenges. 3. Controlling desires. Mastering self-restraint. The problem: instant gratification weakens the mind. Modern society is built on pleasure and distraction. Overeating, binge-watching Netflix, scrolling social media for hours, addictions to shopping, video games, or junk food. When you can't control your desires, you become a slave to them. The Stoic solution: practice voluntary self-denial. Stoics trained themselves to resist temptations so they wouldn't be controlled by them. Epictetus taught, "Freedom is the control of desire." How I applied it. I began practicing self-restraint in everyday life, skipping my favorite foods to train discipline, taking social media breaks to break addiction, delaying gratification, focusing on long-term goals instead of short-term pleasure. Each time I said no to a temptation, my self-control strengthened. How you can apply this. Fast for a few hours to train hunger control. Go a week without social media to break distractions. Practice saying no to things you don't need. The art of showing up. Progress over perfection. The problem: people quit too soon. Most people fail at discipline because they expect perfection and quit when they make mistakes. Lose momentum and never start again. Wait for the perfect time, which never comes. The Stoic solution: just show up every day. The secret to discipline is consistency, not perfection. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Don't waste time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." How I applied it, I stopped aiming for perfect execution and started focusing on just showing up. If I didn't feel like working out, I did just 10 minutes. If I didn't feel like writing, I wrote just one paragraph. If I missed a day, I got back on track immediately. This simple rule helped me stay consistent for years. How you can apply this? If you don't feel like doing something, do a small version of it anyway. Focus on progress, not perfection. When you fail, start again immediately. Don't wait for Monday. The ultimate discipline, living by your principles. The problem, most people betray their own values. They say they want to be healthy, but they eat junk. They say they want success, but they waste time. They say they want to be strong, but they avoid hardship. The Stoic solution, build an unshakable code of conduct. Stoics live by a strict personal code, a set of principles that guided every decision. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." How I applied it, I created a Stoic code of conduct and committed to it. I do what I say I will do. I do not complain or make excuses. I act with integrity even when no one is watching. How you can apply this, define your own personal code. Write down 5 rules you will live by. Never compromise on your principles, no matter the situation. Hold yourself accountable. Your word is your contract. Conclusion, mastering discipline makes you unstoppable. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Build a structured routine so you don't rely on motivation. Train your willpower by doing hard things daily. Control your desires so they don't control you. Show up every day, even when you don't feel like it. Live by your own code of conduct with integrity and discipline. Most people are controlled by distractions, emotions, and temptations, but you will rise above them. If you can master yourself, you can master anything. The Stoic way to handling adversity, turning pain into power. Introduction, adversity is the ultimate test. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much we prepare, we will face failure, loss, and hardship. Most people break under pressure. They complain when things go wrong. They blame others instead of adapting. They let pain control their actions. But the Stoic warrior does the opposite. They embrace obstacles. They use pain as fuel for growth. They transform setbacks into stepping stones for greatness. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In this chapter, I'll show you how to handle any adversity with a Stoic mindset so that nothing can break you. 1. The Stoic perspective on suffering. Accept what you can't control. The problem, most people resist reality. When bad things happen, most people react with anger. Why is this happening to me? Denial. This can't be true. Self-pity. Life is so unfair. But fighting reality only increases suffering. The Stoic solution, amor fati, love of fate. Instead of resisting hardship, Stoics embraced it as part of life. Epictetus taught, "Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish for them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go smoothly." This is called amor fati, loving your fate no matter what happens. How I applied it. How? When I lost a big opportunity, instead of complaining, I told myself, this is happening for a reason. How can I use this? There is a lesson here. What can I learn? I will accept this fully and move forward. The result? I stopped wasting energy on things I couldn't change and focused on what I could control. How you can apply this. Whenever you face hardship, accept it instantly. Don't resist. Repeat, this is happening for me, not to me. Ask, how can I use this challenge to grow? The obstacle is the way, using challenges as fuel for growth. The problem, people see problems as roadblocks. Most people give up when faced with obstacles. This is too hard. I don't know what to do. Maybe I should quit. The Stoic solution, reframe obstacles as opportunities. Stoicism teaches that problems are not in the way. They are the way, Marcus Aurelius said. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. How I applied it. When I faced a major setback, instead of quitting, I asked, how can I turn this into an advantage? What lesson is this teaching me? How can this make me stronger? The result? Every challenge became an opportunity for growth. How you can apply this? Every time you hit a roadblock, see it as a test to make you stronger. Ask yourself, what's the lesson here? Instead of complaining, take action. 3. Mastering emotional control. Responding instead of reacting. The problem, people let emotions control them. Anger makes people lash out. Fear stops people from acting. Sadness drains motivation. When emotions control you, you lose power. The Stoic solution: observe, don't react. Instead of being ruled by emotions, Stoics learn to observe them and respond with logic. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." How I applied it. Whenever I felt overwhelmed by emotion, I did 3 things. 1. Paused before reacting, gave myself space to think. 2. Labeled the emotion, this is anger, this is fear. 3. Chose my response. How would a wise person handle this? The result? I stopped reacting impulsively and started acting with clarity. How you can apply this? When you feel a strong emotion, pause and breathe before acting. Label the emotion, I feel anger, but I am not anger. Ask, what's the best response in this situation? The power of premeditatio, malorum, preparing for the worst. The problem, fear paralyzes people. People fear failure, so they don't take action. They fear rejection, so they avoid risks. They fear the unknown, so they stay in their comfort zones. The Stoic solution: visualize the worst, premeditatio malorum. Instead of fearing the worst, Stoics prepared for it mentally. Seneca said, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." How I applied it. Before a big challenge, I visualized, what's the worst that could happen? How would I handle it? Would I survive? Yes. Then there's nothing to fear. By preparing for the worst, I eliminated fear and took bold action. How you can apply this? Imagine the worst-case scenario and plan for it. Ask, if the worst happens, how would I handle it? Realize that you will survive no matter what happens. 5. Finding strength in adversity. The power of perspective. The problem. Most people see themselves as victims. They believe life is unfair. They focus on what they lost, not what they can gain. They let hardship define them negatively.